sometimes I just wonder and I just want to appreciate how really good LeBron James is. Like, you heard it all before with the age and shit, and like the ability is to keep surprising and 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 surprising, and then multiply what I just said by like 10 times more. It's just crazy, man. Like to think that what he was doing at 33, at 28 in 2018, that he hit his final prime then, and then to have dropped off a little bit into like 2022, and then to get better again at 2025, not at 2018 levels, obviously not. That's almost like 8 years away from what 2018 was, but to know that he can still get better given some scenarios, situations getting more favorable for him, it's really insane. Like, you guys, like, to have shooting a 3-point shot as your weakness for a decade, and then the next decade making it your almost skill. It's not like LeBron's not a 3-point shooter, but he's one of the best 3-point shooters on the team. It really goes to show how much work LeBron actually puts in. Like, LeBron actually puts in a lot of work, and you can't take that away from him, because he shot the same way for 13 years of his season until his second year in the Lakers. His shot became a one motion shot, and to put that into perspective, it's those 13 years, no, probably 23 years, because he was playing high school. Those 23 years of reps of shooting it above his head with the headband on and making it, like, those reps don't count for his new shot, which is just a one motion shot. Like, unless he's shooting a fadeaway turnaround behind the back, he puts it up here. Right now, LeBron, he shoots it down here now. Like, that means him shooting 40% from 3 is like the same amount of work someone from the age of 13 to 23 put in to perfect their shot, because LeBron had to change his shot from when he was 33 years old to, I think, 40 years old. Is 7 years. Like, that's amazing. That's really something else. Like, because every basketball player, it comes to a point where you are maximizing your peak in skill and then maximizing your peak in athleticism, and hopefully they coincide at the same time. And that's when your peak player is, right? So that's when we get to primes of like 27 years old, 28, because you're still uber athletic. And then you've also had the service of 7 years in the NBA to hone your skill. LeBron passed that after he left Miami. And then 4 years after his prime, he hit another prime. He got to a level no other player has gotten. To be that dominant at 33, and hitting a considered next prime. And then 7 years later, he redirects his game so you can even make an argument that this version of LeBron is the best version of LeBron. And I say that because if you put this version of LeBron, this 40-year-old version of LeBron, onto the 2011 Miami Heat team with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, oh yeah, they win the championship easy. Because LeBron shoots the 3 well. Because LeBron, becomes a better playmaker, becomes a better reader. So, when we look in 50 years from now, and when we look, a century from now, when the game is completely different than what it is today, you will have to make the argument that LeBron could adapt to that style of basketball at that time. There's no question about it, because you're not even debating if it's about his size, if it's about his play style. It's about his mind. It's really just about his mind. And you can't argue that he won't make the adjustments and figure out how to adapt his game. You can't make that argument. You can't, because this guy has turned every negative of his career into a positive. The one thing is, it's still the end of the game shots that he still lacks. but it doesn't mean he's not clutch. It's just I still believe to a degree when you have the final possession of the game and you get to dictate the outcome. That is a category in and of itself. It's either a player has it or it doesn't. And I just think LeBron, that's the only thing you can criticize him for. But because he's so skilled at everything else, the game rarely even comes to that situation for him. Right? I just don't. I don't understand. Like, I don't. I actually don't. Like, I'm never even a LeBron fan. Like, any fan that's watched the NBA, like 2010 and upwards, like if you aren't, if you aren't appreciative of what LeBron's doing now, you are a hater. You actually are a hater because I'm from Toronto. I've seen LeBron destroy the Raptors for 4 years consecutively, and then all the years when the Raptors suck even worse back. Like, LeBron owned the LeBronto for a reason. And I've come to the realization that this guy is the greatest of all time. Wow, he's at least like from what I've seen. Because again, what I said earlier about when it's a century from now and we have arguments about if you can adapt to the play style now, you have to trust LeBron's mind will figure it out, even if this version of LeBron hasn't seen what they're doing back then at all. Like, they might be chucking shit from half court. They might be like dribbling the ball with their feet if like the rules, like something else. We have to trust LeBron will be able to adjust to that. You can't make that argument for Michael Jordan. You can't even make the argument that Michael Jordan will for 100% for sure be playable in today's NBA. Because the way I see it, Michael Jordan's peak is a bit better version of Anthony Edwards today. If Michael Jordan played in today's NBA, do we trust he won't fall in love with the fadeaway post-up game? Because we've seen Carmelo die with that transition of relying too heavy on a post-up game. We've seen, like, not to compare like Michael Jordan to shooting guards, but like we've seen Dwayne Wade kind of die because he couldn't adjust to hitting the three consistently. And DeMar hasn't died, but he isn't the best. Even though I'm a DeMar fan, right? It's just the two is not as efficient shot when you look at the aggregate amount of shots being shot a game, taken a game, taken over a regular season, right? Because Michael Jordan's averaging 30 back then, but he had like 26 shots. Anyways, not to get too much about it, because I don't want to hate on Michael Jordan, but I'm just making that statement that like you have to know that LeBron will adapt in the future to the game. So yeah, that's my take on LeBron. It's kind of crazy he regressed into what he is. It's like, wow, what the fuck.